Hey guys, I'm looking at a roster move that locks in the direction for Chicago's secondary. One that answers the biggest question on the board without saying it outright. I'm going to walk you through the problem the Bears needed to solve. Why the timeline suddenly matters, how the cap math fits like a glove, and what the on-field ripple effect looks like the moment the new piece hits the grass. Here's the shape of it. We're 5 games in. The record is solid for what this team has endured. But the cornerback room has been stretched thin and retaped every week. The mandate from Hollis Hall has been simple. Stabilize the perimeter, stop the explosives, and give this pass rush that extra half second to close. I've been charting every coverage bust, every late rotate, every snap where the outside leverage didn't hold. If you felt that tension from your couch, you're not imagining it. The structure is there. The personnel have been the strain dot, so tonight I'm giving you the full picture. What this player does, what he costs, how he fits with Tyreek Stevenson outside and Kyler Gordon inside, how the depth reshuffles behind them, and why the timing lines up with the front office's broader plan. I'm not giving you the final line yet. I want you to see why it was always going to end here. Let's talk need. With Jalen Johnson sidelined, the defense has asked Stevenson to punch above his weight class. And he's fought like a bear. Gordon coming back to his nickel home steadies the middle. But that still leaves one outside island exposed, and we've seen offenses find it. That's the stress fracture. Fix that spot, and this entire unit breathes differently. Your third down shorten. Your red zone calls expand. Your blitz menu opens. This is a single change with cascading returns. Now the profile. The target had to check 4 boxes. Size to play the boundary without safety training wheels. Ball skills that translate to short field momentum swings. A corner who can pattern match in quarters, but isn't lost in cover 2. And a veteran who can anchor a room that's been rotating names through practice all month. Add a 5th, cost control. You don't mortgage draft flexibility in October. You buy certainty at a price that respects the second half of the season. If you've watched the league long enough, you know exactly the archetype I'm describing. A 6'2" corner who has taken the ball away in big moments, who's lived the NFC North, and who just happens to be on a short-term deal that won't handcuff next year's cap. That combination film, familiarity and finances, narrows a long list to one name without me saying it. That's why this is compelling. It isn't just a rumor board move. It's a football move. Quick pause. Family, if you live for breakdowns like this real cap talk, real tape talk, zero fluff, stick with me here on Bears News Fan Report. I'm in this every day, and I'll keep putting you inside the decision the minute the gears turn back to the fit. This player's game is built on patience at the line and eyes at the break point. He's not the fastest corner in the league. He doesn't have to be. He wins by squeezing space with length and timing, by baiting throws he knows he can drive, by playing the hands and finishing through the catch. That's exactly how you cut the slants that have stolen first downs against this defense. That's how you turn 3rd and 6 into 4th and 2 and a punt. Stylistically, he complements Stevenson beautifully. One mirror, one closer. And because he's been in systems that ask corners to communicate late, he'll drop into this terminology fast. The money is the cleanest part. You want a 1-year number that slides under the bar without a restructure, and you want flexibility next spring. That's what this is. You can acquire the contract, play good ball for 3 months, and then decide no strings attached, whether age, playtime, and price justify a new piece of paper. This is not a move that costs you a premium pick. Think day 3 with conditions attached to snaps or a playoff trigger. The return on that investment, if you stabilize the boundary, is obvious to anyone who tracks win probability. What changes on the field? Right away, you present a different picture to quarterbacks. With 2 outside corners who can play through the catch, your safeties stop cheating so hard to help. That lets you disguise late, spin the top when you want, and blitz from width without living in zero. Your front gets a longer runway. Your linebackers get cleaner reads. And crucially, your finishers, those last 2 seconds of the rush, start to show up as sacks. Instead of near misses, there's a locker room component too. This is a veteran who's been in playoff rooms, who's walked in the strange buildings midseason and turned around a cornerback group by example. He travels. He studies. He takes the ball away. When a team that's been patching holes brings in someone like that, the message is clear. We're not waiting around. That signal matters in October more than most fans realize. All right, let's land the plane. The update you've been waiting for is this. The Bears have aligned need, price, and profile around one veteran outside corner, and that veteran is Rasul Douglas. Yes, the same Rasul Douglas who built a reputation for timely takeaways in Green Bay, who showed he could step in mid-year and change a room in Buffalo, and who's on a short-term deal right now in Miami. That convergence is why this move reached the top of Chicago's board, and why the timing puts it squarely in play as the deadline approaches. The logic is airtight. The tape matches the need. The budget clears. The plan is coherent. Here's my football read on the ripple effect once he's in the building. Stevenson stops getting quite so many solo island reps against WR1 types week after week. Gordon's nickel work holds its integrity. Your fourth corner slot stops being a weekly emergency. And because Douglas plays the ball rather than just a receiver, you buy yourself 2 or 3 short field possessions across a month exactly. The kind of possessions that swing one score. Gains when your offense starts 2 drives at the logo instead of its own. 22. Let's also be adults about age and variance. He's 30. Corners at 30 don't live on speed. They live on craft. That's fine. Chicago isn't paying for 5 years. Chicago is paying for right now October, November, December, and for a proof of concept that you can carry into next spring if the tape stays strong. If he gives you steady boundary snaps, cleans up the explosives, and steals one ball every couple of weeks, that's value. If he gives you mentor-level habits to a young room, that's culture. What I want from you before we wrap, tell me how you price this deal. Would you send a 2026 fifth that escalates to a fourth with a snap count? Would you attach a playoff win trigger? Would you rather push a player swap with depth from a position of surplus? Drop your package below, because you know I'm looking at these like a GM, and I want to see how Bears Nation values proven production at corner. This time of year, dot my concise red on the headline. This is a professional, targeted, low-risk, high-stability addition that fits Chicago's needs today and doesn't touch tomorrow's flexibility. It addresses the loudest problem, strengthens the structure around it, and does it without pretending a midseason move turns you into something you're not. Smart teams win the margins in October. This is a margins move that tilts a tight game your way. I'm here every day breathing this team with you. So tap in if you want updates the second they move from phone call to pen on paper. Like the video, subscribe to Bears News Fan Report, turn on the alerts, and keep the comments rolling. I'll pin the smartest trade frameworks, and we'll break them down together before kickoff.